If you know that you are not a South African citizen, may you please stand up and leave our hospital. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. If you are not a South African citizen, please leave our hospital. You need to go and seek medical attention from a private facility, not here anymore.
We are fixing this continent. This thing of you guys moving from one country to the other, it's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana and do what you're doing.
Passport.
Eh? Now you are carrying a bucket. It's 11 a.m. You are supposed to be fighting the government of Ghana there to ensure that they are getting things right.
No, there's no fight in Ghana. You must fight what they do.
Where's your papers?
Passport.
Passport.
What's the passport?
Take it out.
Let me see your passport. Let me see. Luna. Okay, tell me, who's the police officer that you are bribing to certify these things for you? Baba, let me tell you, I'm not foolish. These things, let me tell you, you know by law you're not supposed to certify as an immigrant. You're not allowed to certify your passport.
No.
Okay, why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
Okay.
Let's just start there. Why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
You see, it was raining.
I follow you guys back on Facebook. How you?
It was raining these days. Then when you go out with the passport, sometimes it gets spoiled. That's why I satisfy it so that it won't spoil.
Baba, Ghana don't do that.
Okay.
Ghana don't do that.
All right, sharp.
Ghana
Let me
is
show
the
you.
only African country that is.
Let me show you that when you are abusing our systems, on the 10th of April, okay, the 10th of April, you entered your country when. The very same day you came back when yeah, it's a proof. Proof. Here's the proof.
Crocodile can't go.
You went to Ghana on the 10th, and then you came back.
No,
because here it says you exited Ghana to South Africa. When here it says you entered, here you exited, and it's the same date. It's the 10th of April. 10th of April.
This stamp you got there in Elof Street on the street. This is where you got the stamp.
Oh, they've got a connection here.
No.
I am telling you, that's where they buy it from.
People don't lie.
Now I'm sure Wabra Musia Ghana ni. What you say no. Wabra Musia or man Ghana ni di na Ghana ni ya me kana semu share ya Radin Yankopon. Ni na say ya kwaya ya man yi. Every say ya say ya man. Ofri Sudan, ofri Angola, Ivory Coast, Ghana, no the animal South Africa, Katra Waban, sense and phone or this Cicadian. Oh, I'm finding them upon Nagana, the Simusania, Yako South Africa cobre. Nankadia Minimunu, Aya Sanko Mum Nebaha, you are from a good baby. Young for gold to South Africa, where dear baby. And Sugania, some who come to South Africa for 100 gold, to go to her. Shadi Adia will be maso. Kababuna Tisse, Koya Dave, a Bob Bosicano, Etimi Koya, Aqua will be maso. And a modern slave. No Bobos cannot Koya Aqua. And then
Hello YouTube family. Something unique is happening in South Africa. Africans are going after their fellow Africans. And I'm worried this is something unique. Like a brother going after a brother, a sister going after a sister. I've watched several videos which are posted and I've seen a South African activist telling a fellow African, that was a Ghanaian, go back and fix your country. We don't need you here. And I was like, what is really happening? Let us remember that these migrants normally go to a foreign country, like South Africa now. These people go to look for better job opportunities. They are running from their country, not only to look for better job opportunities, but maybe sometimes there is political instability in their country. So they are looking for peace. These people, whenever they reach in that country, they normally work even when they are paid low wages. They set up small businesses with the hope that life will be as comfortable as they wish it to be. So when other people, especially now in South Africa, when they look at these migrants and they see them, you know, having their small businesses, running their everyday life, working even in harsh conditions, and they are like, why are they thriving? Why are they doing well than us? I feel that is the frustration which has pushed our fellow South Africans to go to the street and protest for these migrants to go back to their country. Even in the hospitals, there was someone standing there and telling the migrants, if you are not a South African, leave the hospital. Fellow people, I know that not in every area in South Africa that we are seeing these shocking scenes. You will see several people in the streets, long queues, people being questioned like the Ghanaian, and also businesses being targeted. It looks chaotic, and for many people watching from outside, it raises one big question: what is really going on in South Africa? Now, it is very easy for anyone to jump into any conclusion, but let us now understand the full story, how it started, how it has been going, and what is the way in the future. What are we seeing now? Is this situation going to continue? Africans against Africans? Right now, what we are witnessing is a series of frustrations, economic pressure, and rising tension in certain communities. And unfortunately, the people targeted here are migrants. Migrants are finding themselves in the center of all this. So in today's video, I want us to go deeper. Not just what we are seeing on the surface, but the real reasons behind this situation happening in South Africa. If you are new here in this channel, kindly take a minute to subscribe, to like, and to share today's video. Watch with me the reaction videos. I'll be back shortly.
Let me show you the reason why South Africans are saying that they don't want any single Nigerian to live in South Africa. If you are a Ghanaian, you can live peacefully in South Africa without any problem. If you are a Tanzanian, a Moroccan, a Burkinabe, regardless of the African country you come from, you can live peacefully in South Africa. But if you are a Nigerian, you cannot live in South Africa. A big protest happened today. And what they are demanding right now is that every single Nigerian should pack and leave South Africa because of this that they are doing in South Africa. Watch the video.
Putting our children into prostitution. Drug trafficking, it's all over. It's because of Nigerians. That is the only thing that they trade in our country. You go in town, you go all over. You see them in the street, pretending as if they're selling this fake clothes. Underneath there's drugs.
It's in the streets.
We go in our township, they associated, integrated with our South Africans to push their syndicate of drugs. We need to come together if you people are meant to be here in our country to see this country peacefully.
And Pastor,
you make sure all those illegal foreign nations who claim to be legal in our country.
So they sent a letter and they went straight to the Nigerian embassy in South Africa. And that is when they made that petition to that Nigerian ambassador in South Africa that they don't want any single Nigerian to live inside South Africa because of their misbehavior and their misconduct that they do in South Africa. Child prostitution, child trafficking, and all this stuff. That is the reason why they don't want to see any single person with the Nigerian identity or the Nigerian passport. But if you are a Ghanaian or any other African country, with the exception of Nigeria, you can live in South Africa.
guys, there is a heavy protest ongoing right now in South Africa. They say Nigerians and Zimbabweans should leave their country.
Nigerians, will you please go to Nigeria? Zimbabweans, will you please go to Zimbabwe? Maputo must go to Maputoans. We are hurtful in our South Africa. Our South Africa is rotting because of Nigeria giving our children drugs. We are sick and tired. Yes.
What is going on? Why is everybody against us? Even though on this protest, South Africans are saying Nigerians are Zimbabweans, so not only Nigeria, but why must we get involved? Like, why must we be involved in a thing like this? At this point, they are making us look like an outcast, making it look like we are bad people. I think we should ask ourselves questions. How do we behave when we travel to another man's land? What are our activities? Why do they hate us? Why are we the most hated? From UK to US to UAE to Ghana, now South Africa. It's becoming embarrassing and we need to act fast.
You're this lady. All what she said in that video is all over the world. As an African, the confrontation that you are having with your fellow African, was it necessary in the first place? You see, all your videos are all over. Go to your country, we don't need you here. Saying all these futile words to your fellow African. South African, sometimes you should take time. Take time. Take your time when you are dealing things like this. It's very sensitive. Take your time. Your words are too hurtful. Take your time. Madam, if their papers are not genuine, it's in your position to alert them. Not in that hurtful speech of yours. It was so hurtful, madam. As South Africa,
we are fixing
what?
the continent. This thing of you
I said what?
from one country to the other.
Guys, can you imagine?
It's no longer working.
This afternoon, I was watching a video here on TikTok,
seeing
and I came across
all over the world
a team of South African guys that were actually interrogating a Ghanaian immigrant in South Africa.
We want you to
and guys, the manner in which these guys were interacting or interrogating the Ghanaian citizens based in South Africa was so embarrassing that I was asking myself, what is wrong with us? How did we come by this? The first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence on the 6th day of March 1957. What are we doing in South Africa?
No, there's no fight.
Little South Africa that we helped recently through apartheid to gain self-dependence. What are we doing in South Africa?
Let me see.
At the end of this video, I will put that video so that you can watch the embarrassing scene in which a noble Ghanaian citizen was rudely
let me tell you. I'm not
interviewed. I don't know if it was an interview, but that was an interruption.
By law, you're not supposed to.
And they had the guts to ask this Ghanaian how his passport got certified by the authorities of the South African government.
Why do you certify your passport?
What a shameless society like South Africa. Very often, just recently, one of my friends in government called me. He said, Joe, I have got a slot for you in America. I want you to go and watch the World Cup. I have been given a slot and I want to give you one. I told him, no, look, I'm not interested in America. I am doing well in Ghana. Look at our roads. Look at our overheads. Look at our currency, how it is doing well. In fact, right now in Ghana, the CD is one of the advanced currencies that is doing very well.
The very same day you came.
So what are you doing in South Africa? My brother, come home. This government is doing everything. The country is under reset and we are enjoying the dividends of our works. Come back home. What is in South Africa?
Ghana to South Africa. When?
There is nothing in South Africa.
Here you exit.
That country of good men and women whose only problem is poor leadership. What are you doing in South Africa? Come back home. We are doing very well in business and commerce. Infrastructure is on the rise. Industrialization. Everything is just going very sweet in Accra, Ghana. Come home, my brother. What are you doing in South Africa? This is not Nigeria. This is Ghana. Come home. The gateway to Africa. Ghana, come home. What are you doing in South Africa, for Christ's sake? For these guys to be embarrassing you and interrogating you in this shameful manner. Please come home, guys. Now watch the video.
Hey, miracle knows it. Hiya, Jesus. When we told you this was not a Nigerian issue, it's about all Africans. They do not want no Africans there.
y'all thought it was a Nigerian issue. We support the South Africans. The irony. The shock. Welcome to the flip tight. Sometimes I really think so hard. Like, what if every country, every nation in the world said, everybody go back to your country, we don't need anybody in our country, and everybody went? You know, there is some areas in different countries which need people. Not that the people who are in that country are not capable of working. Like, let's take an instance like Kenya. When it comes to infrastructure, you get that we see a lot of Chinese. They handle infrastructure, and whenever they work in those areas, we see results. Not because we do not have engineers in our country, but we feel like if those people come, liars with our own people, things will go well. So right now, let's talk about what is exactly going on in South Africa. Are the migrants the problem, or is there a problem that is not coming out to be addressed? First of all, we need to understand that this situation did not just start today. This is something that has been building over time. South Africa has been facing serious economic challenges for years. There is high unemployment, especially among the young people. Many people are struggling to survive, and life has become very difficult for a lot of communities. Now, when people are under that kind of pressure, they start looking for someone to blame. And normally, in many cases, migrants become the easiest target. Why? Because migrants are visible people. They run small businesses. They work in informal jobs. And sometimes they are even willing to accept lower wages just to survive. So, to some locals, it starts to feel like migrants are taking opportunities from them, even though the situation is much more complicated than that. Now, this is where the frustration begins. Here is something very important to understand. This is not all South Africans. We are not here to generalize everybody living in South Africa. Not everyone supports these chaotic scenes. Not everyone is going to the streets to protest. In fact, many South Africans are against xenophobia. Many people believe migrants have the right to live and work peacefully in any given country. There are also communities where locals and migrants live together without any problems. So, the situation is not black and white. Another important factor here is about politics. Sometimes, leaders or public figures make statements that blame migrants for crime or unemployment levels. Whether those claims are true or not, they can influence how people think and how people behave. And when people are already frustrated with what is happening, that kind of message can make things even go worse. At the same time, there is also a problem with misinformation. Social media normally amplifies things. Social media makes things appear bigger or more widespread than they actually are. A single incident in one area can quickly spread on social media and make it seem like the whole country is in chaos. But the truth is, these situations are usually localized. They happen in specific areas and then things calm down and later they may rise again. So when you see these shocking scenes, they are real, but they are not happening everywhere in South Africa. Now, let us talk about the migrants themselves. Most migrants in South Africa are there for one reason. the obvious reason which makes people move from their country to a different country. That is to survive and better opportunities. Many come from other African countries facing economic hardship, political instability, and lack of jobs. So they move to South Africa with the hope for a better life. But instead, some of them find themselves in very difficult situations. They may face discrimination, harassment, or fear during times of tension. Imagine living in a place where at any moment things can change and become very unstable. That is the reality for some of the migrants we have seen. At the same time, migrants also contribute to the economy. They open businesses, create jobs, and also provide services in the communities. So the situation is not as simple as they are the real problem. It's a much bigger system issue. The real problem here is economic pressure and inequality. When people don't have jobs, when life is hard, when they feel ignored by the system, frustration automatically grows. And when that frustration is not properly addressed, it can turn into anger, and that anger needs somewhere to go. That is what we are seeing in South Africa. People are going to the streets just to remove the things that are frustrating them. Unfortunately, the migrants often become the target. So what we are seeing in South Africa today is not just about the immigrants. It's about a country dealing with deep economic and social challenges, and those challenges are now showing up in visible and emotional ways. And that is why you see those shocking scenes. But it is important to approach this with balance. Not to exaggerate, not to spread fear, but to understand what exactly is going on in South Africa. Because when you understand the root cause of the problem, you see that it is not just about one group versus the other. It's about pressure, survival, and the struggle for the opportunities. So the next time you see headlines, videos about migrants in South Africa, just take a moment and also look deeper. There is always more behind these stories. You have been watching Polito Realities. Until next time, stay grounded and always be informed.